What's up, people? Welcome to our first ever video and our first ever unveiling of the PSA submissions I sent in about almost 4 months ago. You know, PSA, they take a while nowadays, but I sent in my very first order, 42 cards I sent into PSA for grading, all cards that I pulled myself. And we're going to take a look at these. I haven't taken a look at them yet. I don't know what the grades are, so we're going to figure this out together. But we're going to go through all 42 quick here, and I mean, let's just jump into it, guys. I don't really want to wait. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to try and keep it as much of a surprise as we can as we go through. But taking a look at the first one here, we got a Steelix, one of my personal favorite cards from Mega Evolution. And we got a 10, baby. Look at that. PSA 10, beautiful. First one is a 10 right off the bat. Love seeing that. Second one, we're not going to delay, guys. We're going to get right into this. Second one, Vulpix. This one I was really confident about sending in. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 10, and it is. 2 10s in a row. We're shooting 100% so far. That's amazing. I hope all 42 of these are 10s. That'd be unlikely, but pretty great. That'd be pretty great. Moving over. Okay, we got one of the big ones. This is the SIR from Mega Evolution. The Acerola's Mischief. And guys, if I mispronounce anything, please don't eat my head off. But Acerola's Mischief, this is one of the bigger ones. Let's see what we get. And another 10. Beautiful. That's a big one. I don't know the exact value on that, but that's going to be a big come up for me. PSA 10 on that Acerola's Mischief. Let's go. We're on fire. Hot fire, boy. Moving on. We got the lesser of the Acerola Mischief here, right here. This one also from Mega Evolution, but not the SIR. Ooh, and that one's going to be an 8. That's a stinker. We got a real stinker on that one. But it's okay. We're 3 for 4 starting off. That's a pretty good percentage, I would say. Moving on. Let's take a look. Okay, so Crispin. This was actually out of a Demigod pack I pulled from a Prismatic pack, my favorite set. And this one was pretty good. I have high hopes for this one. Not too sure about top and bottom centering. I don't know if you guys can see that. But let's see. Oh, another 8. That one hurts. That one hurts, guys. Not going to lie. I wanted a 10 for that one. I thought I had a good chance at a 10. But you never really know with PSA what you're going to get. Coming on, Arbok EX. This one's really cool. I like this Arbok. Full art card from 151. I pulled this. I really liked it. Arbok is one of my favorite Pokemon from the original 150. And we got a, boom! A 10, baby. Look at that. Love seeing these 10s pop off. Amazing card. Love a 10. That's going in the PC, baby. Moving on, let's go. Okay, so this is one of the big ones, guys. The Umbreon, that's a Master Ball if you can't tell. But the Umbreon Master Ball is one of the bigger non-SIR pulls. If you get a 10 with this one, I think it's worth about $400 or somewhere around there. I think this one is a little bit right heavy, but I sent it in anyway. Let's see what we got. Oh, a 9. I knew that one was going to be a risk, guys, but sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit. Still, great card. Solid score. Moving on. That's what we got here. Okay, so guys, this is the other big one. This was the first SIR, or I'm sorry, first Evolution I ever pulled from Prismatic. This one, again, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I know it's a little tilted. I know it's a little bottom heavy, a slight bit right heavy. It's kind of tilted up this way. But I sent it in anyway because, you know, it's an Evolution. And I was super pumped when I pulled this. Let's see if we hit the big one. Oh, we got a 9. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it, but still a beautiful card. I'm glad to have it back. It was tough separating from that card for a while and sending it over to PSA. But a 9 is still solid. Still solid. Can't complain. All right, so now we're getting into some gold ones. I think the next 3 are going to be gold cards. I sent 3 gold cards that I pulled in all together. So this is the Pikachu from Prismatic, the solid gold one. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's just jump right into it. And a 9. Oh, I really wanted a 10 in this one. It's a very solid card, very cool looking card. I like the shine on it. But we're going to go with a 9 on that one, it looks like. Next gold card. Hopefully we get, you know, some 10s here. So this is the Teal Mask Ogerpon. Cool looking card. Not a big fan of the Ogerpon Pokemon, but some of their cards are really, really cool. This one included the gold one. Let's take a look from Prismatic. And we got a 10, baby. So we got our first gold 10. I love seeing those 10s, those double digits. That's a beautiful card. Really excited about that one. Moving on to the last gold card we sent. This one was the Mew from 151. Really like this card as well. You know, love Mew, one of my favorite Pokemon. And we got a 9. We got a 9. So 1 out of the 3 gold cards gonna get a 10. I was hoping for at least 2, but it's okay. We still got a 9 anyway. I'm still excited about what's yet to come. Moving on, we got a Pikachu. So this is one of the cards from my first submission. I don't know why I sent this. You guys will kind of catch a theme as I go through these. Maybe I was a little bit excited or too excitable to send cards into PSA. I sent in some cards maybe I shouldn't have. This being one of them. But I sent it regardless. And even more reason I shouldn't have sent it. Looks like I got a 9. Not really sure why there. I guess maybe it's a little bottom heavy. Not by much though. I think it falls within standards. But regardless, this is one I never should have sent in. But still a cool card. Who doesn't love a good Pikachu? Moving on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so you guys are going to catch a theme here. Another card that I'm not really sure why I sent in, a Mega Guardavir EX. I guess, I mean, it does have good centering all the way around. Doesn't look like it had any chips or anything on the back there. So I guess it was a good candidate regardless. And we still got a 9, right? So sometimes, I mean, you guys know, sometimes you send them into PSA and if they're just having a bad day, you know, that's the difference between a 9 and a 10. This might be one of them. But regardless, I still shouldn't have sent that one in. Some of these lower value cards, guys, there's no real reason to send them in unless you really like them. There's no monetary benefit from sending in, you know, little guys like that. But I mean, it's a cool card. Like I said, I'm happy with it regardless. I'm just happy to have my cards back. We got a Friends in Paldea. You know, this is a cool card from Prismatic. I think I sent in 2 of these, and this one's a 10. Beautiful. Again, if I were to go back in time, this one I might not have sent in. But regardless, I got a 10, so you can't complain. You know, if you get a 10, that's always a benefit. There's always going to be a value add to that. And this is one of those. So really cool. Excited I got that back as a 10. Let's see. Yep, so here's the other Friends in Paldea. I did send in 2. I thought they both had really good centering. And this one got a 9. Wow. So let's look at the difference between both of these. It looks like, I mean, it's tough to tell. I mean, the centering looks identical. The 9 doesn't really have anything on the back. The centering is well within reason. There's no chips or whitening anywhere on either the 10 or the 9. So I think this is a great example of one where, I mean, the centering is realistically the same on both. I think it falls, I guess the 10 has slightly better top and bottom centering, but it's hard to tell with these trainer ones because of the bubble at the top. But regardless, I'm still happy I got at least one of them as a 10. Moving on. Okay, so this is one of my favorite cards from Mega Evolution, guys. I just really love the art. I don't necessarily love Executor. I mean, he's a cool Pokemon, but just the art in general I really enjoyed. And this was one of the ones where I sent them in. I was most confident I was going to get a 10. I just think the centering is flawless. I don't think there's anything wrong on the back. Let's see, though. And I was right. Spot on. We got a 10 for the Executor. This one's going in the PC. I really, really love this art. Very cool 10. Excited to get that one back as in double digits there. Moving on. So Lieutenant Surge Bargain. So this one is one of my favorite trainer cards. I love the art, the style of art on this card from Mega Evolutions. Big fan of it. I think this one, going into it, I was pretty confident is going to be a 10. I know it could be a little top heavy, depending, again, the trainers are tough because there's that bubble up there, so it's hard to see, you know, the top and bottom centering. But I really like this one, and I got an 8. Wow. Wow, we got an 8 on this one. That is a little surprising. I figured there was a chance for a 9, but I was hoping for a 10, but an 8. Wow. That's incredible, guys. So wasn't expecting that, but we'll survive. We're going to keep moving on. We're going to soldier on. Moving on. Okay, so this one is also one of my favorites from Prismatic. This was also in the Demigod pack I pulled. I pulled a Demigod pack. For those of you who don't know, that's where instead of a God pack where you get all the evolutions, a Demigod pack is when you get one of the evolutions and 2 other SIR rare cards in the back with it. So when I opened that Demigod pack, I got this Iron Hands card, the Glaceon, which we already saw, and the Crispin that we already saw. This one was also in the bunch, and let me tell you guys, one of my favorite arts in prismatic. I was really, really excited to get this one. I think this one was going to be, I'm pretty confident this one's going to be a 10 as well. Oh my gosh, a 9. A 9. That one hurts a lot, guys. That one hurts a lot. I'm staying positive, but that one hurts. I really, really love this art. I think it's so cool. I think it's very Miami Vice. A lot of colors, a lot of cool, chaotic background noise on this card. But that hurts to see a 9. I still really like this card. I think I'm going to keep it. But great card. Upset to see the 9, but I think we're just going to make up for it on these next ones. So Iron Crown again. This was a card that I think centering wise is pretty spot on. You could argue that top and bottom is maybe 60-40, but even still, I think this falls within PSA guidelines. There's nothing on the back. All these cards I sent in, there was nothing on the back. Looks to still be the same, still in good shape. I'll be surprised if this one isn't a 10. And it's a 9 again. Oh, so these two cards, you know, really, really hoping, really confident they were both going to be 10s. I love the arts on both of them, and I got 2 9s. But that's okay. I still love them just the same, right? They're like my children. I still love them. Unfortunately, they're not 10s, but we're still going to love them, and they're still going to be part of my PC forever. So moving on, we got the Snover. This one I wasn't too thrilled about sending in, just from the card standpoint. I don't think it's that great of a card, but as far as, you know, centering and, you know, marks on the back go, I thought it was a prime candidate for a 10. And what do you know, it is. This one I was pretty confident sending in. The centering all the way around, you know, examining it, looked like it was pretty close to 50-50. And nothing wrong with the back, no scratches. So beautiful 10, easy 10. Knew that one was going to be there. And this is the last card of the first stack, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look. What do we think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a 9? Do you think it's going to be a 10? Or even worse? So Gengar, baby. So this is another lower value card. This one was from Phantasmal Flames, but I pulled it. I forget which pack I pulled it from. But I sent this one in just because it had good centering. And it's a Gengar card. So, you know, I was hoping maybe I could get a 10 with this one. And we did. Let's go. Another 10. Another 10, and it's on the Gengar as well. What a great card to get a 10 on. So moving through there, guys, we did pretty good. I think we got 1, 2, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 10s out of 21. Almost 50%, you know, out of the whole bunch. That's not too bad. I think that's a pretty good rate. I think most people send in a PSA. I think I read somewhere, I don't know how accurate it is, but I think most people say we get around somewhere around like 35 to 45%. So I think we're well within that right now. Great first stack. I'm excited about it. But let's move on to the second one, guys. What do you say? So let's get these out of the way. Oh, by the way, if you guys can't see over here, I got this Mewtwo. This is my next PSA 10 contender. This is a really cool card. I think everyone really likes the Meowth. It's one of the best cards from Phantasmal Flames in my opinion. And this one is just an excellent candidate for submission. I'm going to be sending this in the next PSA submission. And I'd be pretty surprised if this one doesn't get a 10 as well. So we're keeping that one out for display right now. But we're going to jump right into this second stack. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we're working with. So Megaladius, again, you guys, going back to the theme of sending in low value cards for no reason at all other than I was just really excited about it. I do like these cards, these promo cards. I opened a lot of these Megaladius boxes that I was able to pick up in store at MSRP. And these were, I think I sent in 2 of them. These were some of the better centering ones. I think, you know, left, right, top, bottom, they're good. I didn't see anything on the back when I sent these in, which can be tough with some of those Megaladius boxes because they do get banged around a lot. I sent in 2 of them. I'd be surprised if I don't get at least 1 10. Oh, and we got a 9 right off the bat. Right off the bat, we're getting a 9 on this second stack. I like the first stack better already. But moving on, so here's the second Megaladius. Let's just look. And another 9. I thought this one was going to be a 10. For sure, I thought this one was going to be a 10. Or actually, I thought the other one was a better candidate. But even still, both of them are going to end up as 9s. Unfortunate, but we're moving on. We're soldiering on. Next one, Deli Bird. So this one also, kind of like the Snover, I'm very confident that this one is going to be a 10, just based on the centering, and after, you know, reviewing and sending it in. This was one of the ones that I knew was going to be a lock. And let's see if it is. And it isn't. It's a 9. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Maybe it was the other one. I did send in 2 Deli Birds, so maybe we have another one coming in that's a 10. Continuing on with the theme, sending in low value cards that had no reason being sent in. We sent in a Fighting Gong. I just really like the art on this. You know, I don't play a lot of Pokemon, so I don't know how valuable this card is. But from an art perspective for a trainer, I really like the Fighting Gong. I think the colors really pop. I like the blue and the yellow and the gold. It all works really, really well. Sending this one in, I know it's a little top heavy, but we got a 9. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know we'd get a 9 on the Fighting Gong? That's what I get for sending in a Fighting Gong. Alright, moving on. Moving on. Ethan's Typhlosion. So this is a big card, or potential big card. I wasn't too confident sending this one in, but it was the one I could find with the best centering. I pulled a few of them. This one I thought had the best centering. As you can tell, it is a little top heavy. I don't know if it falls within the realms of a PSA 10, but you can tell that the bottom is a little slim compared to the top. So I don't have a ton of hope for this one, but it was one of those ones you got to risk it to get the biscuit. And yep, this is one of the ones where you risk it and you don't really get the biscuit. We got a 9, but that's okay, guys. We're moving on. We had a few 9s here to start. I think we have 5 9s to start this left pile. So that just means that, you know, we got through a few of the no's. We're going to get closer to a yes here. So moving on, we got a Slow King Master Ball. These Master Ball cards are pretty cool. We already went through the Umbreon one. I got a 9 on that one. Hopefully we got a 10 here. Oh, another 9 for the Slow King. The Slow King Master Ball. Looks like we got a little bit of a scuff on here too. I wonder where that came from. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got a little scuff on the case. PSA. We got to do a little better with the QC over there. But regardless, still a cool card. I like those Master Balls from Prismatic. Prismatic is definitely my favorite modern set that's come out. Here's another one. This one actually wasn't a Master Ball. This is a Pokeball. The only reason I sent this one in is, one, I really like the art for the Larvitar, but also, two, I'm very confident in this one. This is one of my quote-unquote locks that I sent in, was this Larvitar, because I just think the centering is great. There was nothing wrong with the back. The centering on the back honestly looked really, really good too. And we got our first 10. Look at that. We got our first 10 of this other stack. We needed that. You know, we've gone through 6 9s at this point, so it's good to get a 10, break the streak, start a new streak. Really excited about that one. Cool card. Love Larvitar. All right, here's another Master Ball. I sent in a few of these. This Litleo one, same story as the Larvitar. I was pretty confident going in that this one's going to be a 10, and we got a 10. Wouldn't you know it? God, love Prismatic. Love these Master Ball arts. Very, very cool looking. Very, very cool looking. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's see what we got. All right, so this is the Shedinja. Really cool art. I like this Shedinja. This one I wasn't too sure about sending in. It looks like it's a little top heavy. Left to right looked really, really good though, so I sent it. And we got a 9. Yeah, so this is one of those ones that was a 50-50. Like I said, I was really excited to send in cards. It was my first time sending them. And I figured the bigger the sample size, the more I'd be able to learn. And I'm definitely learning a lot about this, about, you know, as we go through and unbox these, what PSA is looking for, what they're not looking for, what dings you, what helps you. And I'm already starting to get a much better idea of it. So all these 9s, they're just learning lessons for me. Lessons learned. Okay, Excadrill. This one's a cool one. You know, I love working Pokemon. Looks like they're feeding them. It's a cool card for sure. Centering looks good. Let's see what we got. And we got a 10. Love it. We needed some help there, guys. We've been getting a lot of 9s in this pack, or in this set, this stack. So it's good to get a 10. And a cool card too. Everyone loves Excadrill. Alright, moving on, guys. We're about 75% of the way done. And we're moving on to Gumshoes. This one's a cool card. Looks like a little mini Trump. Stalking a young Rattata in the alleyway. Very fitting. Looks like this is a pretty good card. This is one of the ones I'm pretty confident in too. It looks like it could be a little left heavy. Let's see what PSA says though. Boom! We got a 10, baby. We got a 10 for this Gumshoes. What a great card. I pulled a few of these, and this one I knew as soon as I pulled out had great centering. I was going to send it in. So good to have that one back at 10. 2 10s in a row. Feeling good. Cloud 9. All right, moving on. So this is the first vintage card I've ever sent in. I know vintage, the PSA tends to grade a little tougher, I've read. So I have a few Machamps already graded, some slabs I already have. I got a 9, I got a 7, I got a 4. And I had this one raw, and I thought it was, pretty decent centering. It's obviously a little bit beat up on the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. Vintage cards, they're pretty tough to find without any wear or tear. This one was no different, but I just wanted to send it in kind of as a, like I said, a learning lesson for me to figure out exactly what they're looking for and what how vintage gets graded essentially with them. And it looks like we got a 5, so that's about what I expected when I sent this one in. Just based off of prior knowledge and going in with low expectations for vintage, I assumed I was going to get a 5 or a 6. Looks like I did get a 5, so very cool. I like Machamp. I like any vintage card. Very into vintage cards. I collect a lot of slabs, vintage slabs. All right, so here's one, guys. This is one of the bigger ones. This was the Serial Edge from the Prismatic pack, the SIR. This one was probably the card I was most excited. This is what made me want to send in cards for grading. These cards for grading was I pulled this card from one of the very first Prismatic packs I ever opened, and the centering was flawless. I feel like the centering is still flawless looking at it again. I haven't seen this card in a few months, so it's really nice to see it again. But this is one of the ones that I was most confident was going to get a 10, and what kind of inspired me to send all these cards in. So if this one's not a 10, I'm going to be really hurt, guys. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's see. And we got it. We got it. The Serial Edge SIR from Prismatic PSA 10. That's the biggest one I think from this stack we're going to get, especially since that Glaceon got a 9. This is going to be the biggest one. Really excited to see that, guys. Such a cool card. Oh man, that one's good. I know we've gotten a lot of 9s this stack, but that 10 more than makes up for it. Really excited about this card. Really, really cool card. Love that one. I'm going to leave that one out. I'll just leave that out for everyone to look at. That's a really nice one. All right, moving on. Delibird. So this is the other Delibird. I talked about that one earlier. I thought the other one's going to be a 10. This might be the one that, yeah, this centering on this one looks a lot better. I think this is the one that I was pretty confident was going to be a 10. And it is. And it is. I don't know why I sent that other Delibird in. I think it was maybe a, just kind of another test experiment to see, what I could get away with on the centering aspect with PSA and still get a 10 with modern cards. But it looks like they're pretty strict about their centering, and this is a really, really strong candidate, and hence why I got a 10. So great Delibird, great 10. Love back-to-back 10s. Makes me feel good. All right, Umbreon. So this is a low value card relative to some of the other ones I sent in, but it's an Umbreon, and if you can get Umbreon anything at 10, it's going to be valuable. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a 9. We got a 9. It's okay though, because we've gotten a few 10s. I'm feeling pretty happy about what's going on. That 9 stinks, but it's still a cool card. I really like Umbreon. Who doesn't? Moving on. Okay, also another one of the low value ones. This one, much like the Umbreon, I just thought had really good centering and had a good chance of being a 10. Let's see. And this one is a 10. Oh, I wish we could swap, but I'll still take a 10 anytime I can get it. A Vaporeon X 2310 from Prismatic. Still a cool card, and love getting 10s. So great to see that. All right, Mega Mawile. So this one I was pretty confident I was going to get a 10. Looking at it now, so when I sent it in, I remember taking note that this was one of the ones I was more confident in. But looking at it now, I do see that it is a little top heavy compared to bottom. Obviously, I think I've gotten a little bit more knowledgeable about centering and what qualifies for a PSA 10 since I originally sent these in. Feeling a little less confident now. Let's see though. Yep, and we got a 9. So like I said, at the time I remember being very confident about this one, but looking at it now, you can clearly see that it's top heavy. So maybe not the best candidate to send in, but still a cool card. I like it. All right, moving on. Mega Absol from the Mega Evolution set. Let's take a look. Oh, we got a 10. Love to see that. People really love Mega Absol. I met a few people just doing vending and stuff who collect only Absol, so maybe I'll be sending this their way. But Absol's a really cool Pokemon, and that's a good card to have in a 10. All right, guys, we're down to the last 3. Wish me luck. Okay, Marshadow. So I love a Marshadow. One thing I didn't notice about this card when I originally sent it in, I didn't notice it until someone pointed it out to me later on. But if you look at the bottom of the card there, we get a surprise guest appearance from Pikachu, which is pretty cool. So this is a fun Pokemon card. Marshadow himself is a really cool Pokemon, and I really like the artwork on this. This one I was very confident in. Between this one, the Ceruledge, and geez, what was the other one? One of the Delibirds, and the Executor. I thought this was the one I was most confident in, with the centering on front and back. And let's see if my confidence was rewarded, and it was with a 10. Great card to have with a 10. People love this Marshadow card. Has a big value add when it goes from a ungraded to a 10. So really like that. Great card to have. That one's probably going to my PC. All right, guys, down to the last 2. Let's see if we can have a little bit of luck. So the Mega Latias card, we've had some not so great luck with the first 2. Let's see what happens here. Oh, we got a 9. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I really would have liked this one as a 10. I like this art a lot. When I first pulled this, I thought it was the SIR, but even still, it's a cool card. I really like it. I can see now looking at it that it is a little bottom heavy. Looks like it's a little left heavy as well. It's a little shifted up that way, guys. But regardless, still a cool card. We've had a great stack so far. We're going to finish with the last card here. What do you guys think it's going to be? Is it going to be a 9 or a 10 for the last card? It looks like it's the Ivysaur. This one's a cool card. I love all of the kind of Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur art series from Mega Evolution. I just think they look really good together. I have a few of the Bulbasaurs raw, nothing I've sent into grade. I've pulled a few of the Venusaurs, but I haven't sent any of those into grade. This one I sent in because I just thought the centering looked really good on it. It still looks really good on it upon second glance. Let's see if we finish strong, guys. We've done a good job so far. I think we're up to 16 PSA 10s. Let's see if we can finish with 17. And we do. What a way to finish it, guys. Ivysaur from Mega Evolutions PSA 10. Great way to end the stacks. Love seeing that, guys. So in total, 42 cards. 17 of them were PSA 10s. So that leaves us at... Let's pull up my handy dandy calculator here and figure out what that actually is. So if we do some quick math here, 17 divided by 42, boom, about 40%. Let's be a little, yeah, we'll just call it 40%. So not bad. I was hoping to get 50%. I think moving forward on my next video, my next submission, my goal is going to be to try and hit 55% or higher. And I think I can definitely do that knowing what I know now compared to this first submission. But overall, I thought it was a big success. I hit on some of the bigger cards like the Ceruledge, the Acerola's Mischief SIR. I missed on some of the other ones like the Glaceon, but there's not much I could have done about that one. I knew that one was 50-50 going into it. But regardless, very successful. I was so excited to get these back from PSA. These slabs just feel so good in your hands. I don't know if you guys collect slabs, but there's just something about a slab that just feels like it's got, you feel like you got the whole weight of the world with you whenever you're holding one of these bad boys. So really excited to do this with you guys. Appreciate you watching the video, and check in for the next one.